Hello there, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the Poetry of Painting. A big welcome to everybody who's watching, whether you're live or on replay. Great to have you on board, and don't forget to make some comments, put some likes and whatever. That'd be lovely. So another great big welcome this evening for somebody who's returning to the show after a little break, and that is Ritesh Nigam. So let me bring Ritesh onto the screen now. So here we go. Hi,
Well,
Ritesh. How are you?
good evening, everyone. Good evening, Fiona. I'm good. Very good. Well, so good to be back.
And it's good to have you back. It's been quite a while since you were on, actually. It's I know life happens and we get busy and things. So, but it's good that we've got you back now. So very pleased about that.
Definitely.
And
I think I always look forward. My wife loves when your show time because then I get ready. So she said,
yeah,
good evening to Chris as well.
yeah. Hi, Chris. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you for watching. So yeah, so it's really good to have you back, and you have to update us on different things that have been stuff that you're doing and your plans and everything, hopefully. And I'm sure we'll find loads to talk about, as we always do. So,
Oh, yes.
and part of that, of course, is about poetry and art. So this week, Ritesh has, I think, quite with incredible speed, written a new poem for us on my painting "Standing Together," which appears on my background here, and which I will put on the screen. And as normal, Ritesh, you're just inspired by what you've seen. You didn't know anything about the painting in advance, so I'll tell you a little bit about it afterwards once we've heard what you've written for us. So let me just try and get the painting on the screen a bit bigger. I was having a little bit of an issue keeping it on the screen earlier, but let's see if it will stay. No, it's not going to do it, I'm afraid. Sorry about that, folks. You'll have to just see it on my background there. It is on my website, and I'm sure you'll find it on Facebook, and I can put a post of it in the comments as well afterwards. So sorry about that, but Ritesh, I'm going to hand over to you to tell us a little bit about your thoughts and to read your poetry for us, if that's all right.
Definitely. I think that is our process, isn't it? That I look at some of your paintings either on the website or you send it to me on Messenger and then see if any painting is speaking to me or the title of the
Yeah.
painting is speaking to me. And then from there, the churning of, the whole process starts. What is this painting about? Looking at probably, when you were painting it, what were you looking at? And if I am viewing it as having it in my, office or in the room, sometimes. So yeah, all those process try to get into different roles and
Mhm.
see. So when I started penning down, and as you said, at this very the speed of it, because I think we discussed it a couple of days ago, or was it yesterday?
I think it was actually yesterday.
Yeah. So
Which is
well,
unusual. You normally get a lot more time than that, but for
I
some
know.
reason, I was going
Yeah.
to say to you, I was going to send you a message and say, hang on, what painting are you going to use? And you said, oh, can I use this one? So I think we were both, focused on the same thought, and you just got in slightly before me, but there we
Yeah.
go. At least we got it sorted, which is the main thing. So
Definitely. Yeah. At
yeah.
least it's not a live show where you paint it and I write it, and
No, true. That would be interesting, to
that
say
would
the
be
least.
interesting.
Yeah, it'd be a bit of a longer show as well. I don't think there's no way I could paint a painting like that, and because it's a fairly big one, 60 by 60 centimeters, in half an hour. No, sorry,
No.
it's not going to happen.
I think same as with the poem.
Yeah,
So as I was talking about the role I was, kind of a role play I was doing as a role play of someone, camping around or hiking through these woods, looking at that mountain, and but it didn't come up. So, um, and then the title, "Standing Together," it's 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 a very, very striking one, as you don't paint normally. Your titles are, the breeze or walk on the sand, or the standing
Yeah.
together is quite evocative, I would say. um, and that's how I uh, got an idea. So let me bring up the my poem,
Yeah.
titled as "Standing Together," and let me try to convey what I felt about the title and the whole thing. So here it is. Four of them stand together. Together, they face the world. World filled with storms and sunshine. Sunshine that warms them, and the distance mountains embrace. Embrace the unity they show a different picture nearby. One tree stands apart from the crowd that follows the norm that doesn't bind it. It stands away from the slope's edge leading to a beautiful view of rusty ground and azure sky that holds dreams for both the many and the one dream where togetherness and solitude meet like a painting a tale of life's diversity in unity and standing alone or united. Each has its own tone that resonates in a world so wide enough for standing apart and standing together.
Oh, that is so lovely, Ritesh. I love that. It's, yeah, you've really caught that image for me of having those trees just there and the other one. And it's okay to be standing alone sometimes, and it's okay to be standing together. And the blue sky of dreams and love, just such lovely wordplay there and imagery in your words.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
I really love that.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
great.
I
Yeah.
think, as I said, that when I was looking at the painting, and it was obviously, I think when you were painting, you saw that also, that four trees are together and one is just standing and probably getting a view, an angle. Um, and I was thinking from that angle that, why it is important, like a contrast between to stand apart or to stand
Mm.
together. And I think in this world today, like people say, oh, I want to be unique. I want to be, I want to do something which no one has done. But at
Mm.
the same time, there are groups, communities who come together and say, well, we got to stand together. So in this world, there is a space for both of them.
Mm. And I don't think one precludes the other. You can be
No.
standing apart in one respect and be within the group in another respect as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And, I think that's good because a lot of us like to have a bit of me time on our
Mhm.
own, but we
Yeah.
like to be with other people other times. Yeah, it holds a lot of images like that. And Chris says, lovely poem, creating some great images. Absolutely. So pleased you enjoyed it, Chris. Ritesh has outdone himself yet again.
No, I don't think so. But
I think that's
especially with the kind of poetry I hear on your show, but I try to kind of keep it simple and
yeah,
a
but
bit.
your style is so
Yeah.
different, your unique style, and you shouldn't feel that the rest of the poetry is so much better than yours or anything, because it's
Mm,
not. We're all different, and your
yeah.
poetry is as beautiful as the others. But they're all different. It's probably a bit like painting as well, because I'll look at someone else's painting and think, wow, I love that.
Yeah,
But it will be a different style from mine. It might be a different subject, but I
exactly.
can really appreciate it and think that is so beautiful. You know, my work's not going to come up to that sort of thing, but it's because it's different, you know,
Yep.
and you can't, that's like trying to compare a sponge with a highlighter pen. You know, they're so different. You
Exactly.
can't really compare them, because that may be a slight exaggeration, but that's just something that came to mind.
True.
Because they are so different, and also you have to remember that one person's work, whether it's poetry or painting, is not going to appeal to everybody.
Nah, nah, that's
Some people,
exactly. When I write, I do
yeah.
not try to, kind to be someone else.
Mm,
It's
mm,
just whatever comes naturally
yeah.
to me, and I think that's exactly is what you and any artist does. And
Mm,
if you do that, you are closer to your heart. That
yes,
you are doing
yes.
something which comes natural to you, instead of trying to be, as what they say, fake it till you make it.
Yes. Whereas what we're trying to do is to be authentic and speak with our own voice, not trying to speak with imitating somebody else's voice. So, yeah, I think that's just so important, because I think it also comes through in the work, whether that be painting or poetry. It comes through with a sincerity and an authenticity as well, which
Yep.
people, even they may not be conscious of it, but I think they pick up on that. And if you're writing or painting just to sell, trying to emulate what someone else is doing because they're selling their work,
Mhm.
or getting their work published, and it's different from yours, I think that it just doesn't work, because you don't have that authenticity behind it.
True.
So,
That
yeah,
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah. So this
So
painting, oh,
this
sorry.
painting. So yeah. So yeah. Tell
Yeah.
me about it. Where did you
Okay.
paint it, and what is it all about?
So, well, it was actually painted in the studio here,
Wow.
but it's based on my travels to Northern California, and in fact to Yosemite, which is a fantastic place. Have you ever been, Ritesh?
No.
No. Oh, it's somewhere to put on your list, because it is just amazing. It's so wonderful. It's beautiful. It's, there are busier bits where it's the main tourist spots, but there's so much space there, and you can, hike around and just find peace and quiet and
Mhm.
hardly see another soul for hours, which is, wonderful. Um, so this was some woods there, and it did have that drop on the other side of the trees. It did have the mountains in the distance, but what it also had was a lot more trees. And
Oh,
for
okay.
me, when I did some sketches, took photographs, and I've thought about working from this subject for quite some time, and then I realised, well, it's if I work from my sketches and the photograph, it's going to be just too many trees. It's going to be too crowded in, and it's not going to focus on anything in particular, because
Hmm.
there's just going to be too many. And that's when I sort of came up with this. Yeah, I'm just going to have this group of them and the
Hmm.
one, and it's telling a story which is very much like you've actually encapsulated in your poem, which is amazing.
Wow.
And, of how these trees have grown together, and they're standing there solidly together in a group. And the other one, it's a little bit apart, but it's still in the forest. It's
Hmm.
still part of it.
Yep.
It's just not quite with them at this moment. So that's how that one came about. And as normal, it's painted in oils with knives, which is my
Hmm.
favorite way of painting, as I'm sure anyone who's watched before will realize. And so it's 60 by 60 centimeters. That's the unframed size. So it's a reasonable size.
Wow.
And in fact, it's going into an exhibition this coming Sunday, the Association of Sussex Artists, which the exhibition is being held in Horsham, which is in West Sussex, along with some other new paintings of mine. So I've got 8
So
framed
was it
paintings.
already planned that this painting is going, or is it just a coincidence that I chose
No,
painting which was
it's
going?
coincidence, absolutely. So yeah, if anybody's fallen in love with this painting and wants to know more or wants to reserve it, just drop me a line before Sunday, and we'll sort something out on that for you. But no,
Yeah.
it's I help with the setup and everything of the exhibition, and it's so lovely seeing all the work coming in from Sussex artists, which
Hmm.
you know it's always been a fantastic exhibition with some great work, lots of different variety of mediums and subject matter and styles. So yeah, it's a fantastic exhibition. It's very
So what?
prestigious, so I'm
So what's the
very
date
pleased to be
and
able
when?
to. So it actually opens to the public a week on Friday on the 18th,
18th.
and it continues till Saturday the 26th, when it will close at 3:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows for the start of the takedown then, which will be finishing off on the Sunday as well. So there's quite a lot of work involved, but it's very fulfilling and rewarding because it's always such a good exhibition, and we make a really good team and we enjoy
Yeah.
doing the work. So it's good fun. And then I've got
Are you going to
got
have your
8.
book displayed over there as well,
Uh,
or is it
that
just the?
if it was a private a solo show or something, then that would be different. But
Okay.
it's not really the right situation for that,
Mm.
unfortunately. But I do have copies of the book, The Poetry of Painting. So, oh, in fact, she says I happen to have one right here. The Poetry of Painting. Oops, there we go. Poetry of Painting, which written by some poems by myself and others by 10 international poets, including Ritesh, who's got some poetry in the book, with my artwork, and very well published, Ritesh, I have to say, very well put together, very brilliantly designed. People might gather from that Ritesh actually was the publisher for the book and did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
So thank you for that, Ritesh. He pushed me hard. It was a crazy few weeks getting
Yeah.
it published before Christmas, but we did it as a team. And yeah, it's still raising money for Alzheimer's research with every book that gets sold. We're donating money to Alzheimer's research, so that the money's going up all the time, and
No,
it's
it's
helping.
a fantastic book. As you know, even to just look at it, I people come. So and you won't believe it's that I'm not faking. So I'll just show you that it's next to my coffee table. Okay, so
Ah,
so
excellent.
so people when people come at my home, they just pick it up and. I will. So a couple of weeks ago, there was a teenager who came to my house.
Yeah,
She picked up the book, and no one was looking at her. We were talking, and I was from the corner of my eye, I was looking at her, and she was engrossed. She was like,
oh
normally you will pick up a book and you'll just go around, and she was like reading it. I could see
yeah,
how that which world she is going into. I was not sure which poem she read at that time, um,
yes,
and I think that's a compliment to you, to all the poets,
mm,
that that particular book, that particular moment, that teenager, she was swept away from the mobile and everything
oh,
into a world of the poem. So that was really amazing.
excellent. That's lovely to hear. Thank you for telling me that story, because it's, just to hear people of all ages, reading it and enjoying it is lovely. So thank you very much for that. And of course, we are building up more poems, not written by me at the moment, but by all of my wonderful poets.
Mhm.
So who knows?
You
Could
never know.
be could be volume 2 coming out
Mm.
maybe next year, though. I was thinking maybe the end of this year, but I think with everything that's happening, because I've got another 2 exhibitions after the 2 that are on at the or one starting next week, and then there's another one that's already started. I've got another 8 paintings in, so yeah, it's a bit of a busy time. So that's basically 4 exhibitions before the end of the year, plus my Kingston exhibitions every other Saturday, and so I think next year is going to be a good time for that one, for doing another book, and getting all the material together and everything as well, in a slightly more relaxed manner than we did for this one. So
yeah, definitely. I'll keep you reminding, but as I said, that even if you plan everything, it's all like you do a marathon, which is like, okay, I'm running, but the moment you see the end line, you sprint. You have to sprint. If you do like that, so you got to have that sense, oh, that's the cross line, that's the finishing line, sprint. And I love that process of doing it, like, oh, this is not done, and then you get to it. So it's
absolutely, and deadlines are good because it focuses you and makes you get on with stuff and get it done, rather than if you don't have a deadline, it'll probably take years instead of months.
That's isn't in our publishing business, they say that most books die prematurely, or most books never actually are born.
Right. Wow.
So I help to deliver a baby, and
you did indeed. a very valuable baby. Yes.
But
Chris said it looks like a game of Snap. Not sure what he meant on that one.
Okay.
Sorry, Chris, I'm not quite sure what you meant on that one, because it's probably when we were saying something else, but
about the
maybe
book.
you could put just another comment and tell us what that was about, because I'm struggling to think. So, Ritesh, tell us a little bit about what's been going on in your world, though. I've been talking about exhibitions and things, so tell us a bit about what you've been up to and what your plans are. Oh, sorry, the 2 books being held up together. Oh, I get you.
Okay.
One on one side, one on the thank you. Sorry, obviously being a bit dim this evening, but thanks for that. So yes, Ritesh,
I think it's it's summer holidays, kids are at home, so got to be very busy with them. But other than that, there are some of the books which are coming up, some launch in October, and then there is a very, very secret project which my son is doing, based on a story and based on a very, very amazing writer, but I can't tell you everything.
You're teasing us, Ritesh. You're teasing us.
Confidentiality agreement with my son, but it's I'm gonna be very proud of it when it comes out, and you'll be surprised what he has come up with. But so it's gonna be a kind of a book project, but series of books he's talking about.
Oh,
yeah. So so hopefully, but again, you get this what do you say, a burst of energy. Oh, I'm going to do this, and then you have so many distractions. You have to do. You would like to be on computer. You'd like to be on this and that. And that's. I think that's a modern age, isn't it? You are so much distracted that to bring it back. But hopefully, well, there is something he's doing. So very exciting. And then to promote the next book, which is coming, I'll be going to some literary festivals, some open mics as well. And I normally, so when I do the link poetry, and I thought of doing an open mic, most of the time I pick up one of the poems I've done with you on your show, because it's so imagery. Some poems I've written is more like, what do you say, very dark, and you talk about. But your poems, whenever I read it to an audience, they just because I think it helps to create that imagery. And when you say that this poem is written based on a painting, it sets the environment. It sets, oh, what is it about? So
yes.
So I did last time when I went. I did the one which the photo I took of Dinton pastures, and you created into a painting.
Yes, yes.
And then I did the poem on that one, and that was locally here, so people know Dinton pastures, and they will say, "Oh, we loved it. We could feel the Dinton pasture. We could feel what's happening." So I think that
Yeah.
um,
Wow.
using
Excellent.
whatever time I spent with you, I'm using those bits very wisely.
Good, good. Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
so are you going to plan to put some more of your poetry into a new book or anything?
Haven't thought about it actually. Somebody did ask me, do you have your own poetry book? And I said, well, no, actually.
You're just a
So,
publisher, but you haven't got your own book of poetry.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's more like, somebody driving a car and said, well, I don't drive my own car. Yeah, I drive
Oh,
somebody.
indeed. Yes, it's like a builder. A builder's family is the last to get the work done in their house because the builder's always working on someone else's house.
I know.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
good
Oh,
analogy. Yeah. Good analogy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So have you got any trips lined up for the summer holidays with the children to go? Yeah.
Chessington is coming up. There
Oh,
is O2 Arena. There is a show coming up. So I haven't told them. So it's a surprise. They're one of their favorite. Actually, they're upstairs, so they can't hear. So
okay.
one of their favorite actors coming from India. So that's
Oh,
a big, big surprise for them.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and yeah, so a couple of things planned.
Good, good. I mean, I remember, when I was at school, the summer holidays that they started, and they seemed like they were going to go on forever. And it seemed like you've got so much time, and then you do all these things, hopefully go on holiday with your parents, whatever, and then all of a sudden there'd be like
Swish. Yeah, it's
a
like,
week or a few days left, and you think,
yes.
but it's going on forever, and now it's not. But these days, it just, it doesn't seem to, summer just seems to go by in a flash. Not that we've had a lot of summer this year, but
No.
you're thinking, oh, the days are getting nice and long now, and we're getting to the nice light evenings. And now, last night in particular, it was a bit dull, and all of a sudden you're thinking, gosh, it's getting dark early again.
It's getting, yeah, it's
You
getting,
know,
yeah. Summer
uh,
is just slipping away. I think a couple
well,
of days, I think
I
next
think
couple of weeks.
tomorrow's going to be some. Yeah,
Yeah,
but they did say tomorrow would be summer, but
tomorrow
then
would
it
be
was,
summer.
back to summer's gone again. So anyway, we'll
Yeah,
keep our fingers crossed for some good weather for
I know.
getting out with the children on holiday and going places, and for painting as well. So
Yeah,
it's good, and for people coming to exhibitions. So the
yes.
other exhibition, by the way, is at Dorking, at Denby's Vineyard at Dorking. So, and that's with, I think there's 12 of us possibly
Mm.
exhibiting there. So I've yet to see the actual exhibition because it was set up on Monday and I haven't been to see it yet. So I'll be seeing that on Friday and see all the work there. So I'm really
It
looking
sounds
forward to
like an
that as well.
exotic location, vineyard.
Well, yeah, I mean it's a vineyard in Sussex. They produce some really good wines,
Mm.
and they are saying now that with the climate change, that
Mhm.
the UK, well, England in particular, the south of the UK, is actually getting to be better growing conditions
For
for
the grapes.
the grapes for the wine than France
Mm.
because it's getting too hot there and the grapes don't like it too hot. So there we go.
Yeah,
We could become the wine producing center of Europe at that rate, but
yeah,
we shall see. So. But Ritesh, on that note, we are getting towards the end of our half an hour, which has disappeared very quickly as always. So
just like
thank you
the
so
summer.
much for coming back on the show. Hopefully, yes, hopefully it won't be as long before you come back again. And thank you everybody for watching as well. So thank you, Ritesh. Have a fantastic summer with the children and hopefully get you back on very soon.
Definitely, I
So
would love to be
take
there.
care, everybody. Lovely to have you with us.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ritesh. Take care. Bye, everybody. Bye.